Greetings everyone, back down on our house build site today. I got my delivery of 140 pieces of rebar and a few more of those Adobe bricks to support the rebar in the foundation. So I kind of lost a week of progress. Carrie and I went to visit the mouse down in Orlando, Florida. So we had originally planned that trip in 2020, and everybody knows that that was the year that fun went to die. So we were too afraid to travel and whatnot with the whole thing going on. Apparently you can't say certain words, otherwise you get flagged by YouTube. So everybody knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, in 2020, I retired, I turned 50. Carrie got her master's degree. So the whole idea was to go celebrate all those good things that were happening to us. And unfortunately, we couldn't do it. So we finally went, and it was great. And I had to come home to the reality of this here. So we'll get back to working. This morning I heard from my neighbor Brian. He is going to be available sometime this week. He had finished that big project that I talked about in one of the earlier videos and said he's available to help me. So my goal is to get a bunch of those pieces of rebar cut up in 5-foot sections, bend them up for the vertical uprights, get all of those strung all the way around as much as I possibly can, and that way when Brian's available we could just go to town putting the horizontal pieces, and if he's available for multiple days, we'll start on the other side of the foundation form, putting up the wood. So anyway, with that, I'll get going on the rebar. Before I get started making up the vertical pieces of rebar, as I was installing the other stuff, one of the things that I noticed was I couldn't quite get 180 degrees on the bend. And what ended up happening was I ended up with more than, see how it is 4 inches at the top, but it's not, it's like 4.5 or 4 5/8 down near the bottom, because this wasn't quite bent over. And having this centered in a 6-inch wall, I wouldn't have an inch of concrete on each side. And the last thing I want is a piece of rebar protruding out or something like that. So I went through and I was taking channel locks and I was bending all of these in, of the ones that I had put up already. But going forward, I'm going to try to bend these perfect the first time. That way I'll have the clearance on each side, so make sure that this bar is perpendicular to this bar. Oh, I'm sorry, I guess that's parallel. This bar would be parallel to this one, and this bar is perpendicular to these two bars. So it'd be nice and square. So that's the goal for making up the new ones. I got another big pile of the vertical pieces of rebar, and before I go to stand them up and use the tie wire to hang them, I wanted to show you this tool I bought that holds the round spools of wire. Just kind of hook the inner wire right in there, and you can pull it off and reel it off, and that just seems like it's going to work so much better than doing it the way we were by just holding the wire. So I couldn't really bring myself to spend $2,500 on one of those automatic rebar tying tools from, you know, the big name manufacturers. So doing it the old-fashioned way. But so I got the reel for the wire and a leather padded hip protector, and then I have this old belt from an old tool belt that I used back in the day when I did my addition on my previous house. So let's go see how this works out. I really like having the spool of tie wire on this reel. It really sped things up for me. I'm glad I bought it. It was a good investment. It's increasing my production time by just having this. Obviously, I could be a lot faster if I had that tie wire tool, but this rig cost me 50 bucks versus 2,500 bucks for a tying tool. So overall, good purchase. So not a bad day as far as production goes, considering it was only half day. I was pretty tired from coming back from Florida. Last night we didn't get in until 1 o'clock in the morning. So I rested up this morning before coming down here. It's 4:30 now, and my warriors are on at 5, so I'm going to clean up and head home. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.